Hey guys, hey, thought I'd try this a little bit differently this week. So instead of you having to read my notes for the week, I thought I would try do a video version of it. So this is the week ahead. All right, guys. So week 2 of the current training block that we're in now means there is a little bit of progression on some of the stuff that we have been building on. A lot of the key stuff obviously stays the same though. So what we can expect. On Monday, our jerk work continues. The big difference is now we switch to a every 2 minute piece for 2 reps, okay? So we were going EMOM last week, which obviously restricts how much rest time you have. Nice way to get a lot of volume in. This week, it goes to every 2 minutes, but it is going to be 2 reps. So honestly, that volume is going to stay pretty similar, but the extra rest time should allow you to get a tiny bit more weight on the bar because you're not going to be rushing from minute to minute. So ideally, there's a little bit of progression on that jerk. So even if you guys bring the barbell back down, take a couple of seconds, recatch your breath, and then go again. That's what we're looking for. And again, with that jerk work, guys, we ideally want that to be the same jerk that we used on last week, okay? So we're not trying to constantly change which jerk we're practicing. We're trying to really nail down one for that test later on at the end of this cycle, okay? So conditioning work for Monday is our interval gymnastics work, okay? So we've got 8 rounds of every 2 minutes, 10 toes to bar, and 8 devil press. Okay, first thing, obviously, we can scale down those toes to bar, but the idea being something that's going to challenge your grip a little bit, as well as your shoulders. Okay, so if you are scaling them down, don't just go the easiest option just to bang out 10 reps super fast. If you are someone who's progressing towards a toes to bar, maybe try for 1 or 2 actual toes to bar and then scale that movement down to a straight leg raise or a knees to chest. If you've got no toes to bar, then again, use this as a chance to sort of practice some of those movements, getting a straight leg raise, something that's going to challenge you a bit, all right? I am expecting you guys to fall off the ledge a little bit with this piece in terms of, I think the first few rounds will be pretty okay. I think it'll be not too bad, and then it'll start to get worse and worse, okay? So expecting you guys to be able to finish around in about, some of you guys under a minute, I think, but I think those times will start to blow out a little bit further on, especially as those 8 devil press start to add up. Okay, that's our Monday, but obviously scale weight if we need to, and try to keep moving best you can, okay? You're obviously going to get a decent amount of rest on this one, so try to work hard when you're working and then rest hard when you're not. Okay, Tuesday, we're back to the cleans, okay? And the big change is we did hang clean plus clean last week. This week, we shift to just purely pause cleans, okay? And so everything off the floor, the pause at the knee is going to help you guys figure out that first pull, which is something who's done my classes knows something I put a high priority on. So again, with this program, we're going to work through the levels as I try to improve your technique more than just your pure strength on this movement, okay? So pause squat cleans is the name of the game on Tuesday. Very similar rep scheme, 2 reps every 2 minutes, 7 rounds. Okay, so total volume exactly the same as last week, just this time pausing at the knee. In terms of progression, I've actually set the weight as the same, right? 70 to 80% on these cleans. And this will be the last week I sort of hold you back a little bit from progressing your weight too much, and then from next week onwards you'll start to see that you guys can start to test the waters a little bit more, okay? Conditioning is our straightforward sprint work again. Last week 5 rounds, this week 6 rounds, same amount of rest time, 2.5 minutes. You guys will see the progression again next week. Next week we go back to 5, but we take a tiny bit of that rest time away. So the goal this week is to try to hit the same numbers for the first 5 that you did last week, and then you've just got a sixth one to try to hang on for, and try to get a similar score on that last round as you have for the 5 before it. This anaerobic stuff, for anyone who I haven't had the chance to talk to about, I feel like with what we do in our training, it's quite low hanging fruit, which is why I like to do it so much, right? I think there is some real progress to be made, and pretty quickly too, which can make us better, fitter, stronger athletes, and I think can carry over onto our CrossFit work quite well. Okay, Wednesday, we have the 20 rep back squat again. Okay, again, simple progression. Obviously, you guys know what weight you did last week. This week, we just want to increase, all right? Whether that's by 2.5 pounds or whether it's by 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever you guys are feeling is what we're going to do, all right? We just need to make sure that there is some progression on it from last week. Okay, the other thing is I gave everyone a sort of a 10-minute cap on the 20 rep, and I feel like a lot of people had a lot of time to sit around and kind of just wait. So what I've done this week is I have added a set of 10 at the same weight. Okay, so you guys hit your 20, back off or relax for a bit, and then we've got 10 more reps at that same weight, just to add a little bit more onto that piece and give you guys a little bit more stimulus. Okay, Wednesday's conditioning piece is the partner work, like it has been all of this training cycle. Okay, and what I will say about the conditioning on Wednesday is that front squat weight is obviously relatively heavy, okay, purposely, and it's off the floor. So be aware that there is a number that a lot of you are going to have to scale, okay? Obviously, you guys, maybe not obviously, but I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the double trouble workout come out yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, not today. It came out yesterday. Okay, the front squats, 185 or 80 kilos there. So this is kind of a homage to that in a way. So making sure that those of you guys who are signed up for the RX kind of get a feel for what that weight might be like in a partner setting. Obviously, this is far more reps, but you've also got a lot more time to get it done in this one, okay? And then the structure of it is loosely based on a regionals workout from 2014. So a pretty standard combination of movements: front squats, hand release push-ups, and double unders, okay? The double unders to be done after every round. Split the workout however you like. This might even be one of those workouts where you guys play to your partner strength, right? One of you guys might be really good at squatting, one of you guys might be a little bit better at the body weight sort of stuff, and you guys just sort of play to each other's strengths to try to get a good score on this one, okay? Then Thursday is more of our athleticism day. I know it's not on What Up yet, but our strength work is going to involve some rope climbing. All right, it's not going to be a lot of reps, but just a chance to, again, keep practicing it, keep getting exposure to it, and also a nice way to get some pulling work in that is a little bit different to our usual way, okay? We got a deadlift. I have set the weight of the deadlift, okay? So there's two options there. It's based on either the weight I've chosen or a percentage of your 1 rep max deadlift, okay? So whichever one is the lower of those two numbers you are going to use, okay? So you guys will see that in, I'll post that up on Wednesday, but rope climb, deadlift, and seated box jumps, okay? So again, just a little bit of power and athleticism there. Conditioning is pretty straightforward, monostructural work like we did last week in a way. No running or double unders this week. We've just got bike and row, and it's going to be sort of work, rest, okay? Just many intervals on the row and the bike just to get you guys some good monostructural conditioning, all right? And also limit the amount of overhead work I give you this week because as you guys will see, Friday is quite aggressive on the shoulders. Okay, so that's Thursday. On Friday, we go back to our, excuse me, I just had a brain fart. Fridays, we go back to our a la carte day, excuse me. Okay, and this week, no jerks on the Friday, okay? So just deadlift or front squat. Again, choose which one you did last week, ideally you continue to progress with that. Okay, so I know there was deadlifting on the Thursday, so I'm sure a lot of you guys will want a front squat, but it's still an option for those of you guys who either missed Thursday or just don't get a chance to do it. All right, so I might even throw in, actually now that I'm talking about it, I might even throw in another third option for an overhead press on the Friday as well, just for those of you guys who don't want to do any more deadlifting or just need something else if you deadlifted the day before. Okay, and then Friday's conditioning. Last week we did Randy, very light barbell, cycling work, and trying to work through it. All right, and on Friday we up the ante. Okay, we go to Isabel. So again, snatch work, only snatches, but at 135 or 95 pounds for the ladies, and 30 reps for time. Okay, one of the most famous girl workouts, but I'm just trying to throw in the barbell cycling on the Friday. We've only got it with the snatch work because I don't want it to interrupt what we're doing with our squat clean stuff. So I don't want to throw in a lot of clean cycling work at the moment, because my priority is to get you guys some PRs at the end of the cycle on your squat clean. Okay, so Friday, Isabel. A couple of ways to attack this. If you guys really want the best score possible, obviously singles are going to be the way to do it, most likely. All of my PR times have been doing singles on Isabel, but in the spirit of this cycle, if anyone wants to try to hang on and do some touch and go, I am all for it. Okay, so have a little think about that one, and just be aware that that's Friday's conditioning. All right, you guys can have a look at some scores from previous years and see what might be a possibility for you. Okay, Saturday is the long partner workout, and we got a couple of open classic movements coming up. Well, lately at least. Wall walks, wall balls. Expect to see those two on Saturday, and then I've added a little bit of extra work with the med ball. All right, so obviously the ball you use for your wall balls, we will also use for a med ball run, and we're also going to do some partner weighted sit-ups, which is going to be passing the med ball to each other. So just a little bit of teamwork in there. So a lot of body weight work, not a lot of barbell stuff on the Saturday, but you guys will thank me for that come week 3 of this cycle as we start to progress into some slightly heavier stuff on all of this stuff. Okay, so again, if you haven't realized, other than the cycling day, I'm trying to limit how much barbell work I give you in conditioning this cycle, just simply because we have so much of it in our strength work and so much progression work, especially with things like 20 rep back squats, the squat clean progression, and doing extra jerk work. So we're really covering a lot of bases just simply by doing the barbell work there, and then our conditioning is a little bit more conditioning focused, a little bit more monostructural, and a little bit less aggressive on the barbells. But we are still getting a couple of days of it, Wednesdays especially, and Fridays. So yeah, just a bit of insight into what you guys can expect this week. If you have any questions, reach out. If this is too long a content to be able to follow, let me know, and I'll go back to just posting it online in what up. See you guys.